Hello friends, hello wonderful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kate and I'm a professional makeup artist based in England. So today I'm going to show you how I did this super cute fairy-esque inspired festival makeup using all Jolie Beauty products. What we're going to do today. I just did this eye makeup and kind of like the rest of my base on Jolie Beauty TikTok live. I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to film the other eye for you guys because I am obsessed with it. Using the Ethereality palette, which is such a gorgeous palette, and I was just very inspired. My nails are also super glittery and purpley. It's a vibe. The Kaleidos Tone Activator as a base, and just blended that out all into my temples. Obviously I've got some blush and some highlighter on as well, but this is an eye look that looks really complicated, but it's actually not. Once you've got this sort of like graphic shape down, the rest of it's just glitter. So yeah, so just going to take this brush from Melt Cosmetics, which is the round detailed mini. It has this really nice just like round edge, and I'm just going to go straight into the Ethereality palette into the shade Mischief, which is this shimmery blue, and it is beautiful. We're going to dip the brush in. We're going to follow where this natural sort of curve is in the eye, and I'm just going to start stamping that product down. I'm not blending or anything, I'm just using the shape of the brush to stamp that product. And this is why we start with eyeshadow, because if you make any mistakes it's a lot easier to clean up. And just bring it down slightly as well. Once I'm happy with the placement, I'm just gonna go over again and just make that a little bit more defined and build up the intensity of the colour. I'm just going to leave the rounded inner corner till a little bit later on. Now I'm just going to start building up the shape on the outer corner of the eye. So again, I'm going from my bottom lash line and we're just stamping. I did bring this out a little bit further than I would usually, just because I want to make the most of the space here. We've got loads of space to work with, so we may as well use it all. And then just start almost like rotating the brush. So I'm stamping like this, and then I'm just kind of like curving the brush. I don't know how well you can see that. So I'm just like stamping and then just starting to like turn the brush as I'm stamping to make that curved shape. Because this is quite different for me. I always do like a super sharp defined wing or something really blown out, grungy and messy. So this sort of like curved liner shape is very different, but I am loving how it looks. It kind of reminds me of like fairy wings, which is really cute. And just rotating the brush slowly until you get the shape that you want. Just for a little more precision, I'm using a really tiny liner brush. This is a PC45 from Peaches and Cream. Obviously, if you want to join this completely, you could do. I just want to leave that bit of negative space. So I'm just using this to kind of like taper off that edge and bring it round because I don't want it to be too thick. And now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to go back into the shadow again and just start building up the colour. Now I'm going to start using the shade Crystals from the palette, which is this gorgeous like lavender shimmer. Just taking this kind of like pencil brush from Pink Freak, and we're just going to start going over where that blue ends and just start feathering it onto the lid. I'm using very small brushes for this because I want to be very precise with the placement. Although it's really blended and shimmery here, you still want to see the definition of where the darker colours are, because it's kind of blended, but it's kind of graphic at the same time. And I'm using a really light pressure, just so we can keep a really nice, soft blend. So kind of just stippling over the edge and then dragging slightly. Back in with this Peaches and Cream brush and back into the first shade, which was Mischief. And then we're just starting to round off the inner corner. Again, this is very new for me. I always do like a really sharp, like winged inner corner. I'm just gonna round it off. You could also use a pencil for this if you're not confident with using like a brush, because these are pretty like flexible, so obviously they're gonna bend quite a lot. If you want something that's a bit more firm, just go in with a pencil and trace out, or even like an angled brush like this, taking more of crystals, that lavender shade, and just filling all of that in. This is where the real fun begins. I'm going to go in with the Jolie Beauty liquid multi-chrome shadows. I've got 3 different shades here: Malevolent, Bewitching, and Elixir. These are so good. I am obsessed with them. Like, I use them all the time. And with the shade Malevolent, you can already see purpley blue that has that little bit of like a coppery golden shift to it. This is what they look like. Take some on a palette. I'm just going to pop a little bit on here. I'm taking the same brush that I've been using, which is the PC45 from Peaches and Cream. Dip into the product, just making sure both sides of the brush are coated. So you can see here is where I sort of like defined that blue shadow. Got your guideline now. If this is a bit too technical, you don't have to do it, but it is really fun and I feel like it makes it pop a little bit more. So I'm just going to start on this side and I'm just going to start following that line. And I always do really little strokes. I don't do one big one. I just do very small strokes, tiny bit at a time. And just really take your time with this. If you find that you kind of get like a bit shaky and a bit wobbly when you're doing eyeliner, whether it's a wing, whether it's something graphic like this, a really good tip is to either use your little finger as an anchor point on your face to rest, and then you've got a bit of stability. Or what I like to do as well, rest your elbow on your knee and do it that way. We're doing the same with the inner corner. Take my time with it. Like, I go back and forth quite a lot. Anyone that watches any of my videos will know that I talk about layers all the time, because it's all about layers. Like, it's so much easier to go back in and add more than put too much product down to begin with and then run out of room to like blend it, or it just kind of goes everywhere. I'm now just going to take a little bit of the shade Bewitching, which again is so gorgeous. It has more of that like lighter, you can see the shift from like the purple to that sort of teal. I'm going to take this really small brush. This is from Peaches and Cream. It is a PC33. Just tap that into the product and then we're just going to go sort of like right next to where we put Malevolent. Oh, it's so pretty. Like, when I was putting these on live this morning, I was literally like, I'll never get over it. They're just amazing. They're so good. If you've not tried any of the Jolie liquid shadows, I really encourage you to do so. They're unmatched. They're just so amazing. So the first shades that we use from the palette are almost like a guide, and then we go over with the liquid shadows. Obviously you could just do powder eyeshadows, you could just do liquids. You do you. I just want to add like as many shimmers and shifts as I possibly can. So I'm going back into the palette now. I'm going to take the shade Fairy Dust, which is a gorgeous multi-chrome. Like, look at that shift. It's incredible. And I'm just going to apply this with my finger, just directly into the centre of the lid. And then I can use a brush to blend out if I need to. If you've got long nails like me, you might struggle to get into like the inner corner. Go back in with a multi-chrome. This is the shade Elixir. So it's this gorgeous light sort of white shimmer that shifts blue. Take this directly onto the lid. Using this big fluffy brush from Pink Freak, putting some of that on my hand now, some of Elixir just on my hand, tapping the brush in and then just blending it up towards the brow. For liner, I'm going to take the Jolie Beauty Prime Time and Line. This is in the shade Electric Blue. This is the most amazing blue eyeliner. So the Prime Time and Lines are like a multi-purpose product. You can use them for your brows, you can use them as liner, for lips. So you can literally use these for so many different things. I always scrape it out with a spatula because I do have these in my kit as well. So I have depotted them into a smaller palette. So to keep everything hygienic, I will always use a spatula. Once these set, they don't move. Like if you have watery eyes, definitely try this product, because once that's on your waterline, it ain't moving, like I promise you. It's just an angled liner brush, and we're just going to start putting this into the waterline. See how pigmented this product is, and a little bit goes a long way. Also making sure to wiggle this into the root of the lashes just so there's no gaps. I'm just going to line across my lash line, keeping it all pretty close. Don't want the liner to be too thick. Before I do mascara and lashes, I'm going to take my absolute favourite Moonchild highlighter palette. This is, again, an incredible, incredible palette. You can kind of see the shifts of all of the shades here. So all sort of like a shimmery base that reflects a different colour. So you've got like a gold, a green, purple, blue and pink. So we're going to take the shade Moonchild. Fluffy brush from What's Up Beauty. It is R104. Get it down onto the cheek. There is already some here, but more is more. More is more. A slightly smaller brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Phases, which is this one here. This is more of like a blue reflect. It's like the shade Elixir that we put on the lid, and I just want to bring this up onto the brow bone. So just give that really high shine metallic finish. Going back into the Ethereality palette, I'm going to go back into that first shade. I'm just starting to smoke out this lower lash line before going in with mascara. Going in with the shade Glow Flies, a bit of Glow Flies and then a little bit of Crystal as well. And then we're just going to smoke out even more, bring some of that shimmery shade right down. If you don't know me already, I love a low, dragged out lower lash line. Just anywhere where my eyes crease, I just put shadow there and then you're not going to notice it. Go in with my Jolie Beauty lash curlers. I've said this so many times now, but these are my favourite lash curlers. You can see the little like separators. And I really like to kind of like pump that in. Looks insane, but it's so worth it. Favourite mascara, Benefit Bad Girl Bang. And layering that up quite thick. We all know by now I love a chunky lash. And then what I like to do if I want a spiky bottom lash, I take the mascara wand, I put it vertical and run it along this way. And it kind of like clumps the lashes together and makes them a little bit more spiky. As a finishing touch for the eyes, I'm taking the Jolie Beauty Neon Water Activated Eyeliner Palette. I'm using this purple shade in the corner. Another small liner brush. This is literally a paintbrush from like Hobbycraft. And this almost like sharpens everything up and just makes it pop. Just the same on the inner corner too. For lashes, I have these manga style like individual clusters. They're just from Amazon. I will link them in the description. 14, a 16 and a 12 underneath, and I feel like it gives that sort of like little wing shape. These can be a little bit fiddly to apply, but what I would suggest, the same with any lash, is to just make sure that you have a mirror and put it underneath your chin so you can look down. It's not a flattering angle, but it allows you to keep your eyes open and see where you're putting your lash, and your hand isn't stuck in front of your face because you're looking down. So if you struggle with lashes of any kind, try doing that. Find it easy to do it with the other hand. So I'm just going to pop that 16 right on the outer corner. So I just added a few little gems off camera. So when I do gems, I use some kind of like a wax pencil. You can get them off Amazon. If you just search for like nail art gems and tool, it'll come up. But I just used some of these small gems in here and I've just kind of like dotted them around. So I've done some under the eye, inner corner, outer corner, and then two little fake eyebrow piercings. This is what the eyes are looking like. There are so many shifts in this eyeshadow, it's unreal. So I had a little play around with the lip combo. I used the Jolie Beauty Eternal Lip Liners in Nocturnal and Noir. Did a little bit of an ombre lip line, and then I went in with Love Potion Multi-Chrome Lip Gloss, and it is stunning. Stunning. Obsessed. Oh, how cute are these earrings? So they're like little hoops that have got like amethyst and a little moon and star. They're super cute. They're from a brand called Pink Angel. I will link them below. And then my choker is from Bone Smith, one of my favourite jewellery brands ever. This is the look all done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Sorry again for using like a million products, but I just love Jolie Beauty. I know I work with the brand quite a lot, but I'm a massive advocate and supporter of the brand regardless. The products speak for themselves, like, can we just? Can we just appreciate? But yeah, let me know if you want to see more sort of like fun, intricate videos like this. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone that watches my videos. Like, it means so much to me. And please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I've posted, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.